Oriana top special, RNG taking complete control of game 1 and just taking the game away as we load into game 2. Bans are exactly the same on the side of RNG with the Zoe Camille and Renekton, while Suning is banning the exact same champions as well with the Akali, Gragas, and Jace, all three very strong flex picks between mid-top lane. And RNG again locking in the Xiaohu Kaisa, Xiaohu like locking in the Kaisa first pick for the side of RNG, followed by an Aphelios Pantheon on the side of Suning Gaming, while Wei locks in Olaf and an Orianna flex pick again. Now we know that this Orianna is not an assured mid lane pick. We know now that this Orianna is for sure a flex pick. And this Orianna, with the success it had from last game, now Suning cannot pick the Aatrox pretty much because it is a counter unless they want to send the Pantheon up there to gank the Orianna and to get the game going. However, with the strong Olaf pick, Olaf of course being the strongest level 1 strongest early game clear and dueling jungler, is a huge threat. So I do not think they want to go for the Aatrox again, as Suning picks out the Thresh for the Aphelios and bans out the Nautilus. Meanwhile, RNG considering their fourth ban here, as looking at the team compositions, I know Pantheon is supposed to be really strong this split with the Gore Drinker Rush, high mid game power spike, and can get his and doesn't fall off so hard. However, I really think that Pantheon is not the greatest pick. His clear isn't slow, but it isn't really quick. Olaf's clear is insanely lightning steady split real quick. Meanwhile, the double support targeted ban on the side of Suning, while an Aatrox ban coming out from RNG. RNG actually considering Aatrox a threat despite how well they countered him last game, as fourth pick from Suning still mirrors the last game, going with the Victor, wanting to look for the Orianna. The question here now is, will RNG again lock in the Rise to go in to the Victor? I do not think that's going to happen, as blinding an Orianna in the top lane is quite a dangerous feat. Orianna and Rise kind of similar, both kind of wait till scaling, not so strong early, can be abused by specific top lane picks, and Suning now, wise to their flex picks, have opted to choose their top laner last, and RNG opting for safety, go for the Malphite top lane. Xiaohu there on the screen looking quite excited at the prospect of a Lucian or even a Fiora, as Yone is now hovered. Could this be a top lane Yone? He seems quite excited about the idea of playing off against any melee, even ranged AD champion, as Ngar is covered with 5 seconds to go, and Silas is eventually locked in there for what I imagine to be Bin, because I mean it could theoretically be Victor top. But alas, no. It is Silas, one of the go-to counters to Malphite. Of course, the auto attack speed reduction of Malphite's E doesn't really bother you. You deal AP damage, so even his armor doesn't really bother you as well. And if he doesn't like burst you down instantaneously, you will also be able to sustain infinitely with him with the W. So on the side of RNG here, we have 3 damage threats: the Olaf, the Orianna, and the Kaisa. Olaf and Kaisa, of course, coming online quite a bit earlier compared to their counterparts of Pantheon and Aphelios, and Orianna, who will come online around the mid game along at the same time as Victor, as oh no, the coaches, they missed the fist bumps. It's like one of those awkward times when you meet somebody and you want to give them a handshake and they give you the fist, and then you change the fist and they change the handshake. It's amazing how it's like how two people can have the exact same thoughts but in different order and can change it up so at the exact same time. Everything is working in perfect unison. You're changing your hands at the same time. You are looking and seeing that it's the wrong thing. You're changing it at the same time. However, it's just what you're changing it to that is different. As an observation I made from last game too, I just didn't know it was Crying. Crying actually plays with his keyboard on his lap. That's a very fascinating thing to see. By the way, for those of you who are just tuning in, if Xiaohu sounds like a familiar name, he is, because Xiaohu is actually the ex-mid laner for RNG who gave up his spot to Crying and opted to learn an entirely new lane in the professional scene. That is an insane thing. It shows his commitment to the game and to his team. Xiaohu, one of the most loyal players to perhaps ever grace this game, especially considering what he has been through with his team over 5, maybe even, I don't know, it's between 5 to 7 years of being RNG. And now, even when his lane has been taken by another player, Cryan doing a fantastic job last game, by the way, he is still willing to put in the effort to learn a new role at the highest possible level in the top league of China, who's considered one of the best leagues which is one of the best leagues in the world right now. It truly is a testament to the caliber and type and the commitment of Xiaohu, a fantastic player. As a defensive start going out there for the members of both RNG and Suning Gaming, we see here that while the 3-threat combo is available on side of RNG, Suning have opted for a 4-threat combo. They have the Silas in the top lane providing AP damage along with the Victor, while we got the Pantheon in the jungle. And we know, everyone knows that Pantheon, if you leave your carry alone, you leave your mage alone, if you leave your AD carry alone, he will jump in there, he will try and one-shot you. And a lot of times, if you're immobile, you will get one-shot, which in the case of Orianna, seems to be the case, as Gala and Ming opting for some cheesy level 1s. Gala off in the side of the bush. Ming lands the E, gets some damage onto Huanfeng, but Huanfeng ends on managed to trade back the damage. The Aphelios Thresh combo, which was denied in the first game by the Thresh ban in the second stage, is of course is basically the go-to now for when you pick Aphelios. And a little bit of trading go on back and forth. Aphelios has the advantage in just a vacuum, in just a standard lane, with the range advantage that he has from his sniper rifle, as well as the rest of his guns, being able to farm a lot safer, being able to generally harass the Kai'Sa. However, he steps too far forward. Leona will go in. Level 2 comes in flash, coming in from Ming Q, which Huanfeng cleanses and flashes. He just waltzes right out of Ming, using both his summoner spells to hard commit at level 2. And this is something we've seen a lot recently. When you are in a Aphelios lane, the enemy Kai'Sa will be either paired with a Leona, maybe an Alistar or a Set, and they will either go really ham on you level 1 or level 2. As Olaf now starting up his red buffs, finishing about the 5 camp clear at the 2 minute and 56 second mark. As we can see, a much faster clear on the side of this Olaf. He's just blitzing through his entire jungle, going to be in time for the Scuttle Crab after clearing his entire jungle. And if Pantheon doesn't go for this earlier, doesn't have Smite, and doesn't try and secure it, he is in danger. Actually, considering the amount of mana that SOFM has, it is quite dangerous. As Olaf now walking into the Tribush, looking to threaten a gank or perhaps a counter gank instead of go for the crab. Thankfully for SOFM, he just goes in and secures the crab as Wei walking in, and E lands by the Leona. However, flayed back by On is stunned by the Q and axed down by Wei. Body spray, hey, boom. As SOFM, after securing the crab, is now behind Crying, uses his E to get the movement speed bonus. Crying with no mana, with flash, however, will most likely be safe in this, and he runs up towards the top side. Meanwhile, Wei, after putting down his ward, is now backing. His back got cancelled, as he's now backing to buy his item, getting his Iron Spike. And a surprising turn of events here, as Pantheon using the mid lane gank as a route to get to the top side to secure the second Scuttle Crab, as Wei, walking back into the top side to secure his Grump as well as Wolves, can also look perhaps for a gank on the slightly overextended Bin, who has just used his teleport. So if Bin goes down now, his lane will be in an unfortunate state for sure. SOFM, on the other hand, still in the sidelines, still farming Krugs, so he's also there for a counter gank. That being said, both Xiaohu and Bin on their current champions are quite weak early on. They both scale very well. That's one of the reasons that Silas is so good into the Malphite, is because he's not that strong early game, but then again, neither is Malphite, and he can lifesteal back all the harass of the Qs that Xiaohu throws out with his W, and it's really hard for a Malphite to deny him that Kingslayer, because you need to go up and auto attack minions, don't you? At the same time, with the fleet footwork, Bin has a ton of sustain. I'm kind of surprised that Bin did opt to go for the Conqueror here, considering the fact that he kind of is promised a decent lane, at least against Xiaohu. It's not like he needs to sustain, and Conqueror could be instrumental later on fighting all these champions, the tanky Malphite without a doubt, the Olaf, as well as the Leona, all things you can stack your passive out, or you stack your Conqueror out of. But I suppose he is opting instead to go and kill squishies and to maintain the ability to be strong in lane to help out SFM if he should choose to come to the top side, as both junglers clear out camps and wards on the opposite side of the same wall, as Xiaohu is taking trades that are not in favor of him. Bin stealing his ultimate, forcing Xiaohu back. Xiaohu only level 5, Bin at level 6 as the junglers both reach the bottom lane, stymieing each other's aggression, though I consider it much more Wei being the one who wants to be aggressive in this situation. Now, looking at both of these teams, the question remains, which team scales better? I would say that both teams have scaling in all three of their lanes. Their junglers are generally early game junglers, but Pantheon with his Gore Drinker is said to scale pretty well now. Olaf can tend to fall off, however, against immobile AD carries like the Aphelios and like the Victor, Olaf is a fantastic pick. And if he gets ahead enough, he's going to make a beeline, and the pain train is going to be coming for the carries of Suning Gaming in the form of Angel and Huanfeng. As SOFM now securing the third scuttle of the game, taking all the scuttle crabs away from Wei, allowing himself a fantastic level lead. Level 6 already to the level 5 of Wei, who's still not level 6 after completing Grump. After he secures his wolves, he will be at that level 6 mark. Meanwhile, which means that there's a experience advantage on at least two lanes now, the jungle and the top side. Meanwhile, Angel is also got the experience advantage, level 7, way before Crying hit his level 7 as he has just done that. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, everything looks the same except for Ming being one level higher. As we look at the CS across the board, we have the Victor up in CS on the Orianna, only ever just so slightly, and been quite a ways up on Xiaohu in terms of experience, as both junglers are doing a fantastic job mirroring each other. As we can see, SOFM is in the top side, farming out his Krugs again, while Wei is in the top side, clearing out his Gromp and his Wolves and giving blue buff to his mid laner. And as we can see, it's a really odd turn of events, as the Olaf, which we saw from the level 1, clears his jungle so much faster than the Pantheon, but the pressure from Pantheon's lanes and so SOFM just being able to keep his laners safe has allowed him to secure every single scuttle crab, and as we can see, it has kept him up in farm, it has given him a lead in experience, and overall SOFM being slightly weaker than Wei in the early game based on champions is doing a fantastic job. As you can see, it's doing a phenomenal job. In the mid lane here, Angel just doing his thing, picking up all the gold as Crying walking up to drop a ward near. Oh, no, never mind. He doesn't drop ward, just to scout and see whether Raptors is up. And Crying now, starting up the Rift Herald, noticing that he does have priority in this instance. Xiaohu also managing to secure priority is moving up to Rift Herald, but On and Huanhong a very, very late rotation up to try and contest this Rift Herald, as SOFM using his ultimate to go in, lands right onto Rift Herald. Xiaohu now looking for his ultimate, but RNG are the ones who are quite clump. SOFM walking in, stealing it, gets altered by Xiao, who doesn't manage to put up his shield in time as Ragnarok comes in, Bin having to slide out. X just misses barely, and the X would have likely resulted in his death as RNG defend the Rift Herald and thus denying it in turn to Suning. SOFM there jumping in, fully committing to the steal and using one of his flares to give him a good old thumbs up. As Huanfeng returns to the lane, Gala, given some time and space to secure the CS safely, did not rotate, and RNG, all things considered, get a kill from it, are still up 400 gold in comparison, barely a lead, but still a lead, about one champion kill worth of a lead. And considering they have two champion kills, actually means that Suning Gaming are doing a fantastic job. Just out of CSing, and just out of out CSing, they have brought back the gold lead by about 500 gold actually, wow. As Crying and Angel going at each other, both out of mana, as the Chaos Storm is dropped. Crying just running around in circles trying to avoid the damage of that Chaos Storm, as Angel looking to just push out his wave. Both mid laners have flash, both mid laners have teleport. So On now backing after dropping some wards in the dragon area to make sure that Olaf doesn't try and sneak it away. Teleport's coming in there in the mid lane as Crying resets, wanting to be on the map, ready to contest that dragon. Of course, the next objective, Angel mirroring him, as both will have their teleport on roughly the same cooldown. Xiaohu's teleport has literally just come back up, while Bin is a level above him. Meanwhile, SOFM also maintaining his level lead on his counterpart, as On clearing out some wards, as RNG also noticing that blue buff is up, wanting to lay a trap. Ming with his trigger happy ultimates, which have managed to be a fantastic. Last game, Ming managed to be such a pain to SOFM with those solar flares, just basically targeting him as Wei starting out the dragon. And RNG just doing it, SN considering it for a moment in time, and then finally realizing that there is too much to lose, up to continue their scaling. And back to the question of scaling, it really is. I think both teams scale equally well. Kai'Sa is strong and early, maybe can get a bit stronger in the mid game than Aphelios, but later on, Aphelios is just a insane carry. That being said, Wei is in the bush now, looking to deny Aphelios a chance at seeing that late game. That being said, Aphelios is a immobile champion, and into an Olaf, immobile champions are extremely vulnerable. And not to mention, an immobile champion has a lot of a harder time dodging those Malphite ultimates, which you know will be headed towards Victor, will be headed towards Aphelios, as Wei's back is denied, thereby on just delaying the jungler, and I bet you he's going to throw another hook in here just in case to see if he can delay the jungler. Ming, being savvy and wise to their idea, walks up and tanks the Q from Philios, allowing his jungler to finally reset. As I think I see a proto belt. If this is a Night Harvester from Xiaohu in the top lane, he is going mad. He's gone barking mad. But anything can happen, and based on his performance in the last game, I would completely put my faith in his knowledge and in his ideas of what he wants to do to win this game. As Victor rotating towards the bottom side now, looking to secure this Scuttle Crab, as well as clear out whatever vision he can find that has been left behind by the members of RNG during the last Dragon take. As blue buff going over to the side of RNG, Crying, of course, getting pretty much every blue buff this game aside from the first blue buffs. I cannot really say the same about Angel last game, as Angel was denied on many occasions by RNG, playing very strong. So this game, a big difference between the first game, in that RNG have not been able to make the plays across any of the lanes, really, aside from maybe the bottom lane. No, and the Rift Herald. It's just the Rift Herald play pretty much. And the bottom lane gank, but they haven't had the success. They don't have a lane that's winning especially hard. Like last game, Xiaohu was smashing Bin completely as Ming's ultimate comes in, which is flashed by Angel, but Xiaohu flashing over the wall to the destination that Angel's flash ended, but the lantern is there to save him, as Gala is ganked here by SOFM and Huanfeng, the root from Huanfeng, allowing SOFM to get into position to smash and kill this Kai'Sa. A fantastic counterplay there by the side of Suning. RNG using a lot of resources in the middle lane. The Leona ultimate coming out, as well as the flash and Unstoppable Force coming out from the Malphite. However, Angel, the moment he saw sunlight get a little bit strong above overhead, he instantly flashes out, sees the Malphite ultimate, and at that point is in no position to do anything, and thankfully On is in position. Rotation is perfection here on the side of Suning. Gets the lantern, pulls his mid laner to safety, denying a 3-man gank. If Orianna was in position, that could have been very dicey indeed. Now again, RNG, great position to be in. They are scaling team fighting comp as the root, allowing for SFM to get in position, landing the stun. Gala uses ultimate to try and close the distance and give himself shield. Alas, the damage coming in from the two members of Sony Gaming is too much, as Gala is rotated to the mid lane, with Crying rotated to the bot lane. Teleport's nearly up for both the mid laners, and you know what that means. That means that Dragon is spawning in 1 minute and 40 seconds with Rift Herald to spawn before it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the next point of contestation. This is going to be the next objective. In 30 seconds, we will see Rift Herald spawn, and we will see which team wants to fight for it. Right now, RNG looking to be in a much better position to fight for it, given that their bot lane is here and their mid laner, who is in the bot side, has teleport. Been here clearing out top side, either looking to back. However, he doesn't have teleport, so this could lead to RNG taking the Rift Herald. RNG still not making any moves, as Huanfeng taking out the bottom side turret. A huge shield coming in from his gun, and most likely from the overheal he has in his runes, as the second Rift Herald is started up and completely surrendered by the side of Suning. Surrendered to RNG by the side of Suning Gaming. Not looking to fight for anything, only looking to scale. Suning, again, love these mid-game power spiking into the late game compositions. They love to just play together and survive the laning phase, and they do an exceptional job surviving the laning phase. Bin used to be, I guess, another playstyle they have is that you can play through Bin, but now when they want to play as a team, this is just how they play. As Xiaohu anyway walking up to try and look for Bin, who might have overextended. Bin, wise to their nefarious plots, schemes, and plans, simply sniffs it out and backs off from this attempted gank as Wei, channeling his back, but will probably use his Rift Herald. Oh, apparently not. With Tower Plating's gone, however, Rift Herald is slightly less of a threat as Windrake is spawned now. SOFM waiting for it to spawn, using his Dragon Slayer skin very aptly in this scenario. Way there, just pushing down the top lane tower, allowing Xiaohu some time to push out the wave and to look for roams into the mid lane using his unstoppable force. You bet that Angel's Flash is timed by the side of RNG, and the RNG want to make a play onto the mid laner of Suning Gaming before that important summoner spell and cooldown comes back on, which is actually about a quarter of the way now left. Angel securing a blue buff, one of the rare commodities that he was denied in abundance of in the last game, as Angel has still yet opting instead to first upgrade his Q rather than his E in order to aid his clearing instead of his wave clear, I suppose, as Rift Herald coming down into the mid lane, running in, sieging it up, and allowing for the rest of RNG to take it down. 2 towers now falling in quick succession towards the side of RNG, trying to accelerate the game. And as we saw from the first game, Suning have the ability to hold on. They have the ability to fight together. So I feel like, and I've said it many times in the last game, but I think Suning are in an exceptional position right now because they love to play together and they are not behind. In fact, they are ahead in gold despite being down a tower, despite being down a kill. They are still ahead by 700 gold. That is over 2 kills worth of gold simply by farming. And as we can see, the CS discrepancies across the board. Xiaohu has managed to catch up in terms of CS, which is phenomenal for what he has done, as Angel just picking up a bounty now with his 27 CS lead. Xiaohu sitting a rock in the bushes in the river. One with the elements, looking to use his ultimate to catch someone out. However, with Dragon not up, it's very doubtful that anyone would come here. Perhaps he's looking to pick out On while he is warding. However, On, thankfully for him, was on the opposite side of the map, looking to play some defensive wards for Angel in the top side, who's answering the push by Crine. But just as quickly as that ward is dropped, it is killed, as Ming being hooked into the box, flayed into a bush where Huanfeng is free hitting him. On, however, is being turned on, and Ming having to flash the wall, however, was killed by the ignite from On, as Pantheon jumping into the middle of a fight and immediately regretting that problem. Chaos Storm coming down onto Xiaohu, change diverted onto Wei, as Bin coming in now to clean up the fight. Wei is destroyed. Xiaohu jumping in to try and finish off Angel. Alas, he did not have the damage as a Prey Seeker, narrowly missing Angel as he saw his life flash before his very eyes. And a nice pick there by the side of On, leading to a 3-for-2 towards Suning as red buff resets. Huanfeng opting to let it live now and opting to push out the wave. Much more gold and experience to be had on that side, as Bin his character model looking much bigger than I must say I would expect. Bin, of course, has a repertoire of ultimates to choose from here, as Prey Seeker coming out from Kaisa to stop the back of Huanfeng's Aphelios. Quite a good repertoire of quite a good repertoire of ultimates to steal, as the hook coming out, box coming out, and Flay coming out. Ming turning instead onto On with Wei and Gala nearby. Gala ulting in to get the damage in. However, Ming, caught between a rock and a hard place, gets lasered out, and the ignite finishes him off, as Xiaohu, using his ultimate the second SOFM's feet touch the ground to send him skyward yet again. Wei in a position to have to use his flash, has his Ragnarok, uses it on to Bin, who just walks forward and tries to kill him. Xiaohu flashing forward, trying to kill Angel, however, alas, not having enough damage to do so. As Angel, with his upgraded Q, with the shield and movement speed, escape away. Angel with, I'm not quite sure what that second item is actually from here. I really don't know what it is. As an ultimate coming in from Huanfeng, using it on Ming, despite seeing 3 members of RNG, they're forced to be lanterned out by On, a short but effective lantern that was, as Huanfeng in a moment of bloodlust there saw red, saw yellow, and wanted to kill the yellow and mix some red into it to produce some orange, as both teams now posturing into the mid lane. SOFM ulting in, lands onto Wei, who pops his ultimate to try and run away. SOFM doing tons of damage, however, as Wei is forced to tuck tail and run back into his jungle. SOFM now using his ultimate. With that, walking into the bush, Gala ulting in to try and finish off Angel, who walks backward into the safety of his team. SOFM finding a solo kill on two-way, wondering if anyone was going to attempt a greedy back, and walking into the jungle field, seeing three members of the enemy team in the mid lane, jumping onto Ming now. However, this could be too far as he puts up the shield that no longer tank starts, uses his stopwatch. Ming's ultimate coming in from this, actually that was Bin's ultimate, a stolen Ming ultimate coming in as the harass and poke from the side of Suning are quite a lot to handle. Four members of RNG now forced to back as Dragon is spawning in 3 seconds, and this will surely go over to the side of Suning Gaming, with Baron also having been alive for a minute and 30 seconds. That is a real point of contestation as both teams just opting for some NA RAM and looking for a little face-off in the mid lane. Suning, of course, looking to take down the tier 3 mid lane turret, while RNG, knowing that, opting to try and defend it. However, they were caught out of position by a beautiful look there by SOFM. As we see in the bottom right hand side, he sees that Wei is being greedy, uses the blast plant over, uses the rest of his abilities with the 10% penetration he gets from his ultimate to simply take down Wei. SOFM a level ahead, 26 CS ahead, is just simply outdoing Wei now in this game. Wei, of course, having a phenomenal game, and SOFM having not such a phenomenal game with that Olaf in the first game. Xiaohu now being matched in the bottom side by Angel, while Bin is back in the base, actually. RNG now looking to secure some deep vision into the top side jungle of SN in order to set up for perhaps a Baron play or to look for picks. They do have teleport on Crying, and they almost have teleport on Xiaohu. Xiaohu's teleport will be around just about maybe 30 seconds, 20 seconds faster than his flash, and with that flash, Huanfeng is in a world of danger, as is Angel. Thankfully, both the mobile carries of Suning Gaming do have their flashes and do probably have the reflexes necessary to make the play and to escape certain death. When the rock comes in, whoo! And that being said, RNG posturing and moving towards the Baron buff now. But 4 members of Suning Gaming are in the mid lane, are waiting for something as whoa! Huanfeng testing fate there, as a Malphite ultimate was surely heading in his direction, very hot and very fast. But thankfully for him, he passed wisely as Xiaohu, using his Proto Belt to get into position, he uses his flash, closing distance, gets his ultimate onto SFM and on incinerated by the damage, but Bin stealing this ultimate, going onto the backline also, using his Zhonya's. Huanfeng is being chased down by the Olaf, is simply being attacked by the train as Bin is pulled in by the Orianna ultimate. Angel has arrived in fight, going for Ming. Again, everyone hates the support in this game. Xiaohu chasing off laner. SSM lands in, jumps, flashes over just in case he's going to be CC'd. Jumps onto Xiaohu, using his shield now to protect himself. Angel in a terrible position in between 4 members of RNG. They don't see Wei. Wei is being face checked. Angel going over the wall, killing Crying with the damage. A double kill there by Angel, as Wei in a terrible position, about to be chased down by SOFM. SOFM has a shield, has a spear, has a pair of feet that he's going to use to land onto Wei. SOFM jumping onto Gala, using his shield to try and protect himself, nearly solos out Gala as Huanfeng soloing out Wei, soloing out the counterpart of SOFM. Gala, seeing that he was in a hopeless position, collapsed on from all sides by the remaining members of Suning Gaming, opts to upgrade his abilities in the middle and take death kind of gracefully, honestly. With that upgrade over there, a fantastic fight there coming in from the side of Suning Gaming, kiting back, allowing their ADC to do the damage necessary. Been going for the backline, protecting his AD carry from the damage, as we see here. A very hard committal there onto the jungle and support. Flash and ultimate coming in from the side of Xiaohu. Huanfeng just kiting back, Bin stealing the ultimate, getting both the carries of RNG, splitting the fight up. Now Olaf being a huge nuisance. This is exactly the power of Olaf that we previously attained to, as Angel coming into the fight, opting to blow up the lowest member, who happened to be Ming. Xiaohu walking in to try and defend him as SFM lands onto Ming, flashes away just in case there was some counter damage coming onto him, and then stunning Xiaohu. Xiaohu forced to use his stopwatch, however it's taken down slowly after Angel in an exceptionally precarious position, flashing over the wall, using his 2 parts of his Q to simply secure the kill. Huanfeng being able to lifesteal all of the damage that was done to him by the Olaf, and Olaf, despite being quite behind this game, is still a huge threat, as we saw today. Aphelios forced to kite away from the fight. Bin was keeping the carries of RNG away. However, Wei was doing the exact same to Huanfeng. And thankfully, Angel managed to come in from the side and produce the damage that was necessary as Xiaohu uses his rocket belt forward, has his ultimate. However, Angel with his Banshees as SFM jumping into the backline, into a precarious position. Guardian Angel procced instantaneously as the Lantern is there. Lantern expires. SOFM is left to dry in the middle of 3 members. And this is the danger, of course, of being the Pantheon, as you have a very telegraphed entrance. You basically roll out your own red carpet before entering, and the rest of RNG was just waiting at the end of that red carpet, the kitchen sink and the book all in hand, waiting to throw at them. RNG now rotating from the mid lane instantly to start this Baron, knowing that Suning Gaming do not have the smite. Suning not one to give up objectives freely. No one in the LPL is, as the ultimate coming in from Bin, as the ultimate coming in from Huanfeng, chunking out members of RNG. Baron going over to the side of RNG. RNG now in securing every Baron in the game so far, as Bin slides away from the Prey Seeker, allowing On to tank the damage. However, 4th Dragon of the game and 3rd Dragon of Suning, leading them to Stoke Point, is spawning now in 3 seconds and will definitely be taken by the side of Suning Gaming. RNG there, a beautiful, beautiful rotation after a pick, and that is one of the longest lanterns I have seen. However, there was no one even close to the lantern to take it. As RNG move towards the Baron, the Dragon now, in order to perhaps look for a pick, and Huanfeng in a very precarious position. If he gets it, a flash in a buy way, Huanfeng with the Gale Force magic to escape, but both the carries are here. A dangerous position for Wei, as well as the members of Suning, as their 2 carries are caught out of position. Ultimate available by SOFM. Ultimate coming in by Xiaohu, catching out Huanfeng. Huanfeng doing damage over the wall with his superior range advantage, and Wei is pulled back into the fight. SOFM joining the fight, getting the stun onto Xiaohu as Chaos Storm chases the remaining members of RNG out of the jungle. RNG a really good look over there. However, the mobility that Gale Force has allowed Huanfeng allows him to slide out of any precarious positions, as well as lanterns coming in from On, giving his team a bunch of safety. That looked very, very dangerous there, as 5 members of RNG were collapsing onto the 2 carries as well as the top laner of Suning Gaming. However, working together beautifully, Suning managed to turn that into a simple 1-for-0 trade. Not even a trade, actually, just an advantage. Meanwhile, as we see here, both teams resetting. Interestingly enough, Bin opting to max out his Q and his E before maxing out his W, knowing that this is going to be one of those more long drawn out games and he's not going to be able to look for kills, simply looking to farm and to be a use for his team. Is doing exceptionally well. Looking across the board again, Bin has gotten himself a huge CS lead at this point, as has every single member of the Suning squad, out CSing their counterpart in every single role, even support, by at least 1 CS, which it might not be much, but it can be the difference here. As SOFM clearing out his jungle, RNG still, despite being behind, it's obvious based on the tempo that they are definitely behind, are still looking to make aggressive plays, and we can respect them for that. Xiaohu with his flash, with his ultimate, and with his teleport is looking to be in a fantastic position to make plays. However, that Banshee's Veil, that 3rd item pickup there by the side, actually I think it was a 2nd item, Banshee's Veil, fantastic, coming out as 2 teleports coming out. Xiaohu straight into the flay, ultimate coming in onto Angel. Angel in the middle of the entire fight gets bursted by the members of RNG. However, on the same side, Gala is gone down. Wei with nowhere else to go, but it nearly takes out Huanfeng as he's taken down by 4 members of Suning Gaming. Unfortunately there, what looked to be great turn there in a way from RNG, what looked to be a very dangerous teleport from Xiaohu uses to capitalize on the positioning of Angel, who was corralled into that position by the other members of RNG. However, that being said, Bin taking out Gala at the same time, meaning both teams lost a vital carry member and therefore were not able to do any more. That being said, Suning Gaming definitely winning out on that trade, as Olaf also gone down, was in the middle of 4 people, had no choice but to go in. Still, nearly taking out Huanfeng. I think Wei would want to consider investing in some lifesteal, in some healing cut, as I believe the healing and lifesteal that Huanfeng has been getting in the last 2 fights are the main reason that he has managed to stay alive. As we look back into the fight, a double TP coming out, Angel caught way out of position. You're forced to flash, gets tagged slightly by the solar flare as the Xiaohu's ultimate coming in. Angel running into the fight, gets dropped by Bin and the Chaos Storm. Bin here just finishing off Wei, who runs in, nearly gets Huanfeng. However, damage coming in from the rest of his team, managing to literally peel and pry away cold dead corpse away from the AD carry that they were trying to protect. Angel there caught slightly out of position by the double teleports of RNG. RNG very, very savvy, very, very on their toes, looking to find advantages like those. As Wei throwing his axe over wall to spot for the rest of his team. Both RNG and Suning posturing around this middle lane. Dragon coming up in a minute. Baron 30 seconds after, as both teams just looking to secure vision, maintain mid priority. You don't want to give them an open avenue to your base, which RNG kind of has now. RNG with their team fighting ultimates are in a fantastic position, guarding the entrances coming out of the jungle. As you saw there, Huan Feng hesitant to take that lantern as he saw Xiao Hu positioning very, very aggressively as SOFM landing onto Wei. A 3-man ultimate coming in from Bin as Huan Feng throws an ultimate Gala, incinerate the Wei onto Huan Feng, onto On actually, going after On, a huge catastrophe as SOFM ulting in to chase down Xiao Hu, and Crying lands Xiao Hu's ultimate forced out defensively as Crying uses his W to slow the remaining members of Suning Gaming, and a beautiful engage there by Bin, not even having to flash to get into position, getting a 3-man ultimate Gala incinerated before his feet could touch the ground yet again. And Wei, perhaps he was misclicking, Ragnarok and rolled in, but focused on the support as Bin going in, lets the Orion ultimate, catching 2 people, bringing Crying and Ming into his team. Bin has been making plays this game, ladies and gentlemen. He has just unleashed himself onto this rift. Give me an even lane. Don't even give me an advantage. Give me an even lane, and I will show you the plays I will make later on as Suning Gaming are looking to end out the game 3 against 4 situation here in the base of RNG, as Suning jumping in, Bin jumping in, Huan Feng jumping in, Wei jumping in, everybody jumping into each other in true LPL fashion. Xiao Hu using his own as sure to fall now. Bin trying to predict a flash, however Xiao Hu never had it, or he would have flashed initially, as Suning Gaming 32 minutes into the game looking to close out this game and bring it to a deciding game 3. As the minions are ransacked, the base is destroyed, and the hopes of Suning Gaming of having a clean record maintained throughout at least 30 more minutes perhaps. These games generally go for 30 more minutes. A beautiful series of picks there made by Bin. Bin being the engaged for his team, allowing On to stay back and protect Huan Feng, allowing seeing that SOFM was not safe to just simply jump in. Bin put it upon his own shoulders and made the plays. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching Game 2, as I will bring you, I'm very excited actually to bring you Game 3 tomorrow. All the best going forward, and we will see you tomorrow. See ya!